I recently heard a genius idea for getting kids to fall asleep on their own in their own bed. And no, it doesn't have anything to do with putting a mattress on the floor or gradually reducing the amount of time you stay in your child's room after you turn the lights off. The clever trick is called the sleep show, and I'm going to teach you how to do it in this video. At the end, you'll learn one of the key ingredients in helping anxious kids face their fears. Typical advice for kids who have trouble going to sleep is usually one of two things. If your child currently sleeps in your room or in your bed, it's suggested to gradually physically move your child's sleeping space further and further from your bed until they're back in their room. Like maybe they sleep on an air mattress on the floor of your room, and then that moves to your doorway, and then the hallway, and then into their doorway, and then they move to their bed. And this happens really gradually over the course of several nights. Or if you've been stuck in a pattern of staying in your child's room until they fall asleep, maybe you gradually shorten the amount of time you stay until several nights or weeks later, you're just saying goodnight and leaving. These strategies work great for a lot of kids. I've actually helped families through both of these in therapy, but some kids still have trouble, even when you teach them other coping skills and even when parents are super consistent. The path to getting them to sleep on their own continues to be bumpy, confusing, and frustrating. For these families, I recommend Dr. Eli Leibowitz's idea of the sleep show. By the way, if your child struggles more generally with anxiety or OCD, I also love his latest book, so definitely check that out in the description. So here's how to do the sleep show. When it gets close to bedtime, tell your child that tonight they're going to do something different and really fun. They get to put on a sleep show for a pretend audience before bed. To make it more realistic, have your child set up stuffed animals or toys they can perform for her, because your child's job is just to act out how to sleep for their audience. You want them to do everything possible so their audience believes they're truly sleeping. So have them get ready for bed, brush their teeth, put on their pajamas, read a story, and then get into bed, all to look the part of a true sleeper. Tell them the actual sleeping part of the show will only last for 2 minutes. But to make it believable for their audience, they'll need to relax their body and close their eyes. So when the sleep show is over after just 2 minutes on the first night, go into your child's room and tell them the show is done for tonight. They can then go back to however they were usually sleeping, in your bed, with you on the floor of their room, or whatever. Each night, gradually increase the sleeping time part of the sleep show until you get to about 15 minutes. Stay at 15 minutes for the sleep show until your child actually falls asleep. If at any point during the show your child falls asleep in their own bed, leave them there and don't wake them up. There are a few reasons why I think this sleep show method might work better for some kids. So first, and probably the most obvious, is that you're helping kids make an association between falling asleep and their own bedroom without you nearby. The stronger that association and new pattern gets, the more likely it will be to happen. Second, you're taking the pressure off both you and your kids. You're just telling them they're putting on a show, and that's honestly all you're expecting them to do. When we remove those expectations, everyone is more calm, and we avoid the inevitable battles that come up when there are preset rules that are being followed, and that's not working. This brings me to my third and final point, because now you're making this dreaded thing more fun and your child is calm. You increase the chance they'll actually be able to fall asleep. And I think that these points really show one of the key ingredients in helping anxious kids face their fears, removing the pressure to face fears by keeping it fun. In the more traditional methods, even the ones I've worked on with families, there's something that's always changing that kids are anticipating that causes anxiety to rise. They know they're working on sleeping alone or falling asleep away from mom and dad. And when kids are more anxious, their bodies are more revved up, and it'll always be harder for them to fall asleep. When the pressure's off and it's just a game or a show, you increase the chance that your child's night will end with them falling asleep on their own in their own bed. When facing fears is more fun or more of a game, it's more likely kids will actually do the thing they're afraid of, helping everyone in the long run. I'd love to hear in the comments if you try this and how it works for you. Or tell me other things you've tried to help your kids fall asleep. Have they worked? And if you found this video helpful, I'd appreciate it if you tap the like button and subscribe. It'll help it spread to more families who need it. See you in the next video.